everyone, and welcome to the Perspective Podcast. Today, I have my friend, fellow true partner, and fellow homie of the darkness, Mr. Pure Instinct, aka MPI. MPI, say what up to the people.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Like Sadomi said, my name is Mr. Pure Instinct, or MPI for short, if you prefer it that way. I'm a variety caster over on Twitch. We focus a lot on story-based games, so it's something that we can come back to every day and pick up where we left off the day before. Thanks for having me on, man. I'm excited.
Anytime. I love bringing people on. Like, that's my main point. Bring everybody on. Get every different perspective, every different viewpoint I can find. Now, today's main focus of discussion, just something I was thinking of recently, mainly digital versus physical media. As you know, we kind of have adjusted to a more digital landscape where you have digital downloads for movies, games, books. But how much of that is getting lost in the physical realm? And if we should, spend more time with physical media or keep it digital? Any opening thoughts on that?
I don't know that we should stick with one way or the other. I think that having both options is really the best because, people prefer different things. Exactly like we said, this is a perspective. Some people only want physical media. Some people say, nope, I want a minimalism life. I don't want the extra clutter. Man, just give me everything digital so I can stream it or download it. So I don't know if there's a right answer or a wrong answer, but I know what I prefer.
Gotcha. And what do you prefer?
I'm still very much a physical media person. I know it takes up more room in the house, but that doesn't really bother me that much because, you could put them in storage bins if it's that big of a deal. You can even buy CD cases to fill and just throw away the plastic case that it comes with or give it to friends who might need it, anything like that. But I've always been a person who prefers physical media if it's available for something. If something's only available on digital, that doesn't mean I won't get it, but I prefer physical, especially for video games. Music, I'm not as worried about. I'll stream it over something like Spotify. Mm-hmm. But as far as my video games go, or most movies, if it's a movie that I'm going to purchase, I want it to be physical.
Gotcha. Now, why do you have that distinction between music and video? Why is videos or movies more important to have physical than music themselves?
I think it's a convenience factor. Most of the time, if I'm listening to music, I'm on the go, or I am working out, or outside, mowing the grass or something like that. So I'm going to be listening to it on my phone anyway. So if owning the disc for that album isn't as big of a deal to me because I'm never going to use the disc. If I did, it would be in the car or maybe around the house sometimes. But at this point, so much of it is streaming available like that for a $10 service a month that owning the CDs doesn't make as much sense to me. Where video games, for the most part, I still have to buy a $60 game no matter what. So why wouldn't I buy the physical one where I can say, oh, I'm done with this game. I'm going to sell it. I'm going to trade it into GameStop, or I'm going to give it to my friend who can try it out now, or something like that. So I think that's where the distinction comes in, is it's mostly convenience, but also I can pay a cheaper fee to just stream any album I could ever think of, than say, oh man, there's this one time I really wanted to listen to an Elvis song, so I had to buy his $12 album, where I bought, 15 other $12 albums that month because I had this random feeling to listen to one song.
Yeah, I definitely understand that because, with being on the go with music, and also I'm thinking about it too, a lot of times when you have playlists together, you're not listening to the whole album itself. You're listening to that one song on one album off of maybe 10 or 20 different albums. And so for me, what I do is whenever I decide to make a playlist, listen to a bunch of music, I always have in a playlist. I wouldn't carry a Walkman today with a custom burnt CD. That's
exactly
too much effort.
That, and it was do you remember CD players? If you had a CD in it and you were on the bus or in the car or something and you hit a bump and it would skip really bad? I never have to worry about that if I'm, sitting at my desk playing an Xbox game. My Xbox isn't going to suddenly bump in the air and skip. If it does, I have bigger problems.
I had that same thing happen to me with the copy of Pokemon Blue. In a cartridge.
You were driving and it skipped?
It was, my mom was driving and she took a left turn and I don't know how, but I just kind of like, whoop, bink, and then the Game Boy hit the car, and next I know it's kind of do that crash. And I'm like, huh? Turn it off, turn it back on again. Entire save file deleted.
Oh, that's the worst.
And I was young too, so I didn't know what was happening. So I'm like, off, on, off, on, off, on.
What do I do now?
Off, on. Like I was like, I tried like 50 times. Like, why isn't that coming back? Like what? I wasn't even mad. I was like, wait, what? I was just confused. Oh man, definitely digital does have that advantage though over physical media when it comes to not with your hardware is kind of scuffed. It's not gonna be that hard to not play it, or rather, it's not gonna be difficult to get it playing, get it working. Versus like old cartridges, old CDs. You had to blow into it or give it a wipe, or my favorite, get a little toothpaste on the PS1 CD and do the little screw. Did it work? When I was 10, I thought it did.
Yeah, it seemed like it did. Maybe it was a placebo effect, but I thought it worked.
Oh, man. What was your favorite piece of physical media that you have then?
Ooh, man, that's a tough one. Probably the Halo 3 Collector's Edition that I have. It was the first Xbox 360 game that I ever got. Like that Christmas, I got the Xbox 360 and that game with it.
Ooh.
So it was like, this is my jam. And that was the whole reason I wanted the Xbox 360 was to play Halo online with my friends. So I had played Halo 1 and 2 on the Xbox, but I only ever got to do LAN parties. And I lived kind of out in the country. Mm-hmm. So I didn't have friends that lived nearby that wanted to do that except for one guy. So we'd always have to get together and drive like 20 minutes to someone's house to do it. But, when you're a kid and you have to get your parents to drive you there and pick you up, it's a whole thing. Yep. And it was just a pain. But then after school one day, I went to one of our friends' houses and we played Halo. And I was like, who are all these people we're playing with? He's like, oh, they're just online. I was like, no freaking way. This is everything I need. Because I can't be bothered to drive 20 minutes everywhere because I don't have my own car. Like I said, I had to get my parents to do it. So getting that and being able to play Halo online with my friends from the comfort of my own home and never have to worry about it was awesome. And then it was kind of like, I guess it snowballed from there. And now, I'm streaming on Twitch. I play video games every day. Like they're like my life now. So I guess that's kind of like what really got me into games. I'd played video games all the time when I was a kid, but never like real serious about it. So it was always just kind of like I'm playing Madden with my buddies, or like I'm playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater for the 4 millionth time, and somehow it's still super fun.
Yep.
And then that one came, and I was like, "All right, this is it. This is where I belong."
Yeah, it's just Halo 3. I remember Halo 3. That was so much fun. It was so much
fun.
Oh
yeah, I think it's still at this point my favorite Halo game of all time. It was amazing.
I think it's one of the best local LAN multiplayer games in history by far.
Oh yeah. And I think it's still, for me, it's like still the peak of eSports. Like I know we have League of Legends and stuff that is much bigger production now, but man, just like the events that those guys were putting on that were all like DIY events, like they didn't have, millions of dollars in sponsorships. They maybe had like the local, like, I don't know, coffee shop or something, or like the local pizza place that's like, yeah, we'll give you 5 pizzas and you put our name on the banner and we'll, cover the venue fee or something. And they're just like, all right, let's do it. But now, I mean, don't get me wrong, esports has evolved and is amazing, but like when I look at it, that's just like the pinnacle to me. I guess it's maybe because like I'm super into like hardcore music and punk rock, so DIY stuff is like in my blood. So seeing those guys that are just like, yeah, all these people told me I couldn't do it, and then I did it. Here's a giant middle finger to you, and I'm like, yeah, that's what's up. That's what I'm talking about.
That's dope. That's really. I didn't know the comparison though. Like early esports to punk rock, like the do-it-yourself like because it was like little underground, very, very different than today. Holy, way different.
Oh yeah, because that was still when, even people that played video games were like, you can't make money playing video games. And there's these guys that are like, I don't know if I can do it, but I'm doing it. And then they did it. And it was like, Halo 2 was broadcast on USA Network on Sunday mornings, believe it or not, like years ago. And then Halo 3 came, and it was harder to find a place to watch. They didn't broadcast it on TV that I know of, and Twitch wasn't a big thing yet. So streaming it online was, almost non-existent at that time. So it was a lot of recorded and watched later for a lot of people. At least for me it was. But it also didn't help that my internet wasn't amazing. So watching streams was a little tough. But
yeah, it was like the internet out in the country isn't like the best.
My parents to this day in 2019 get 2 megabits per second on a good day. Ugh. Yeah. It's rough. Like, it works for them because they're not, like, huge tech nerds, but, like, I go to their house for, like, family events, I'm like, what is wrong with this? Who does this? How do you live this way?
Oh my gosh.
Like, love you guys to death, but what the hell?
Reminds me of the good old dial-up days. When you would
it feels like it.
Wait 10 minutes to load one JPEG.
Yeah, exactly. And then you're like, I don't even know what I'm looking at anymore.
It'll come out all gray sometimes.
Yeah, you get halfway through it and somebody gets a phone call and you get kicked off the internet.
Oh, man. And then now we have Twitter banners, which are quadruple the size of anything loading in.
Yeah, and it takes like a quarter of a second to load that, if that. Or like I'm scrolling Instagram on my phone and it's loaded before I get to the next picture.
When you click it, it's like, it's not up yet. It's like, why is it not up yet?
I'm like, what? Well, it's broken. Clearly it's broken. The whole service is down. It's the only thing that's only explanation.
Oh, man. And tying back to the digital media too, I've learned that if you have internet's not like the best, then physical probably is your better option for a lot of things. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember when the Xbox One was announced, and they said, you're going to have to download everything. You're always going to be online. And they said, we have a console for people who don't have good internet. It's called the Xbox 360. I was like, you motherfucker. Like, I live in the middle of nowhere, and it's going to take me a week and a half to download the new game that comes out on Tuesday. By then, everybody's going to be finished with it, and I'll see the whole damn thing on the internet. So it was like, that's just not going to work for me. Like, that is a solution that does not fit for me, and there are still a lot of people who deal with that. At least, in the city that I live in, there are people who still only have satellite internet as their only option. Ugh. So, think about that, and you have people all over the country that live in areas like that. Why would you want to completely cut out that market and say, if you don't have internet, then sucks to suck, bro? Like, it's terrible.
Yeah, I understand what they were trying to do, but I think they had a case of, this is a really good idea, we just shouldn't implement it yet because we are ahead of our time. Yeah.
This might be a good idea in, 15 years.
You say 15? Not shorter?
Yeah, when internet is available to everyone, no matter what. That's when it's a good idea. But, like I said, I still know so many people that just cannot get good internet. It's impossible for them. The companies just don't have service where people live. And that's not on Microsoft, obviously, but you got to work with what you got a little bit, I think. So I think until it's fully widespread, it's going to be tough.
I know a lot of people in rural areas who don't have the internet. Mm-hmm. And one thing is, people in like where I'm from, I've had good internet my entire life. Like, even when I had dial-up, I still had decent dial-up. I mean, it still took me 10 minutes to go to
top-tier dial-up.
Yeah. If you could even say that in this
if you can call it that.
But yeah, I've been spoiled with good internet, so I don't even imagine not having internet. Whenever internet goes down, I feel lost. Like, I forget how many things I need attached to the internet to do anything.
Yep, exactly. I know. Whenever we've moved into like new apartments, or when we moved into our house, we didn't have internet yet because just they hadn't come to do it because no one could be there for it. And I was like, well, what do we do all day? Like, I guess we watch a movie. And then I was like, guess what I have? My Blu-ray discs. I can watch those.
That's
time all back.
Perfect. Because, like I said, even when I want to clean, before I had downloaded a playlist to my phone, so I could use it offline, I'm like, cool, I'm going to clean while no internet, listen to music. Listen to the really crappy songs they input on your phone when you first get it.
Yeah.
Do, ah, nah, nah. It's like, oh, I don't want to listen to this while I clean for 6 hours. I might as well be silent.
Yeah, it's like the AT&T ringtone on repeat.
Oh.
Terrible.
So yeah, like I said, it's really, and for me, games are a big part of my life. So the amount of games that I use online, like Rocket League, I could play Rocket League offline. I could go to practice mode. That's all I'm doing.
Right.
And then like hours later, just I got maybe a JRPG if I get that desperate. But then that's a whole rabbit hole. I don't want to start that like off the jump. That's a whole commitment. And then
those are 100+ hour games. And I'm like, well, I picked it up because I was bored because the internet went out for 2 hours, and now it's been a week and I haven't moved.
It's like starting a relationship and realizing you don't have the time for one right as you do it. It's like, oh, shit.
You're like, oh, well, here we are.
Oh, man. Digital. I do, like I said, I think I would love to collect more physical media personally, but again, this convenience is too much. It's too strong. I can't stand the like having to change discs or the risk of losing one, or like if one gets broken. But I do love the resale value if I decide to go along that route.
Yeah, and that's kind of been my big thing about it too. Is like it's not as much anymore, but used to when I was a kid, like I would finish a game and I was like, okay, well, it was a story-based game. I completed literally everything possible, and I liked it, but I didn't like it enough to play it again. Well, let's go to EB Games is what it was at the time before it was GameStop, and it was like I can trade it in. I won't get the full value out of it, but it's not just collecting dust basically, or something that I look at in my digital library and go, I finished that 5 years ago and it's still there. Or even if you don't want to sell it, you play video games. I'm sure you have friends who play video games. You can go, hey man, I like this game. I think you'll like it. Borrow it, or here, you can just have it, like happy birthday or something. Anything. But it's like I look at my Steam library now and I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck half these games are. And I'm like, I'm never gonna play that. And it's like, man, it'd be really cool if I could give that to my friend who would like it, or I could sell it or something like that. So it's just like, it's still a weird middle ground of all of it, I think.
I've definitely looked at my Steam library, and I can go through and tell you I've played maybe 20% of those games.
Exactly.
I've enjoyed maybe 10%, and I consistently play maybe 5%. If that, no, maybe I'll say 2%. Because I have over 100 games, and I don't play more than like 5 right now total.
Yep.
And like I said, I really wish there was a way to trade in games digitally, but there's no reason for companies to let that happen. / no reason to really do it either. Like, yeah.
I don't know. It almost seems like what would make sense is Steam could let you like basically give up the license to it and get a portion of what you paid as a Steam credit. Because then that's going to keep you in the Steam ecosystem, and you'll keep buying games off of Steam. And, they might lose a little bit of money on that, but I think if you're already there and it's like, well, I traded in this game and I got, however much percentage of what I paid for it, I'm still going to have to pay money out of pocket for the next big game that comes out. So they're still going to make the money out of that, but then at the same time, DLCs are going to come out. And, you're going to buy those DLCs from Steam. So it kind of keeps you in one storefront. I think consumer side, that could be a little bit bad with, that can start causing monopolies. But we're seeing Epic Games Store say, no, we can do this too. We're seeing Discord say, no, we can do this too. So it would be, you could trade them in and you're probably stuck with that specific credit on that platform. But at that point, it's almost like a store credit. You return something without your receipt 17 years after you bought it to Kohl's, they're going to tell you can return it because it's Kohl's, and the return policy is yes, but they're going to give you a store credit. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So something like that could work out, but we'd have to find a good ground for it, I think. Because you don't want one person to control the whole storefront, and that's it. And it could work out really well on consoles, too, because it's, you give up that license, you make, let's say, 30% of what you paid for it, even 50% if, they're feeling generous, and you buy the new game with the other 50%, you're going to have to pay out of pocket. And, if you own an Xbox, the only store you have is the Xbox store if you want to buy digitally, unless you're going to drive to GameStop to buy a digital game, but at that point, just buy the physical game because you drove there. Mm-hmm. So I think something like that could work, but it would be harder on the PC space than on the console side, I think. Because now that we have so many people coming into the digital storefront on PC, we're going to start having, I don't know, like 1 million launchers on our PCs for something like this. And you're going to say, well, I bought this game on Steam, but my buddy's going to play it over here. And at some point, Origin is going to say you have to play with Origin people or some crap. Mm-hmm. And then you're stuck.
I didn't even think about that. The whole cross-platform might be cross-launcher pretty soon. That issue. What a time to be alive when the PC is going to be split up and then console going to be the ones who are merging together. That's going to be interesting. That's a timeline. I don't know who fucked that one up, but that's the timeline right now.
Somebody did.
Oh my god. But yeah, even thinking about going more into Steam refunding games with the credit, I definitely think this is a move they would do. They have no reason to do this 5 years ago. No reason to do it 5 years ago. Now that Epic and Discord and everyone and their mother is trying to get a launcher and get people away from Steam, now would be the time to do it. If they were going to do it.
Yep.
I still don't think they're going to do it because it seems like, from a business perspective, it seems like a waste of money.
Mm-hmm.
Because businesses don't think long term. A lot of them don't.
No, because
they think short.
That to me feels like a got to spend money to make money kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure, we might lose, a little bit for the next year or so because everyone traded in all their Humble Bundle games that they've never played and stacked up, enough credit to buy a couple games. But that's going to show them hey, why would I leave Steam? Why would I go anywhere else? They let me trade in my old games that I don't care about anymore. Or all these Humble Bundle games that I have that I haven't played ever. And it's I'm getting something out of it. I'm not getting a lot, but, it's better than nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if they were going to do it, now would be the good time to do it. Because it would keep people there.
And do you think there's a real risk of people leaving the Steam launcher altogether?
I don't think there's a risk of people leaving it altogether, but it might, if looking at it from Steam's aspect, it might show developers hey, people want to be here. Why are you going and working with Epic only? Why aren't you giving it to both of us? Why are we suddenly cutting us out of the mix and saying we have PC exclusives when Steam's been the only launcher most people have used for a long time, but that's because what else was there? There was Origin and Uplay. Nobody wants to use Origin. Nobody wants to use Uplay. If you either work for one of those companies or you're lying to me. So it's not Steam's fault that they were the only people doing it. You could buy games from Humble Bundle or GOG and things like that, but 9 times out of 10, you were getting a Steam key to put into Steam anyway. So I think it would maybe show developers hey, people are going to prefer our platform, and now they have another reason to specifically prefer our platform. Why won't you give us the games as well? We're not saying you have to be exclusive, but why are you going to go exclusive on Epic Game Store and not let me have it too?
But I like that. That's interesting. Because yeah, like I said, there's no reason to be. I don't think there's reason to be exclusive. Like I understand why, but it'll become a whole new console thing where it's like you can get on this console, but the problem is you don't have to buy a whole new system. You're not selling anything except for a storefront, which honestly, I think most people is they will just revert to not using a Steam launcher or Uplay launcher. They go back to using desktop icons or just search bar in your computer. Search bar, Rocket League, search bar, Assassin's Creed, search bar, Fortnite.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and like I get why there are exclusives on consoles. Microsoft owns studios, so they own that IP. I get it. Sony, Sony games, Nintendo, Mario, all the Nintendo games. I get all that. But on PC, it almost feels a little bit more like the Wild West, like nobody owns any of that except unless you buy the game out of the Microsoft store. And then I get why Sea of Thieves, isn't on Steam or something like that. I understand that. But, for someone who is not one of those top 3 dogs or like owns an operating system, it doesn't make sense to say I'm only going to sell my game on the Epic Store. And like I'm sure, like specifically the biggest one right now is the Metro game that's coming out. And I'm sure that they said, hey, if you're going to sell on our platform, you're going to make a much bigger cut of sales, but you're not selling it anywhere else. And that's all there is to it. And they went exactly like you said. It's a money thing. They went, I can make more money doing it. And then they were like, oh, well, what's going to happen in, a year and a half when people forget about our game and it doesn't go on a Steam winter sale for $5? We're going to stop making money.
I feel like when a game goes on sale for that low, they don't make money anyway. Unless
Steam, depends on what it is, maybe.
Because, I mean, I know everyone probably has different, like, contract or different, like, negotiations. But the way I feel... Because for PS Plus, I think the way it is the company's getting upfront, like, sale price. Mm-hmm. So let's say, hey, Rocket League, we'll give you $300,000 to make it, free to play on PS Plus, or like 1.2 million or something, depending on the game. Yeah, if the game's like dying low, they'll be like, all right, listen, we'll give you $15,000.
Yeah, exactly.
Game. It's like, okay, cool, yeah, sweet,
yeah, better than nothing.
Yeah. And then, like I said, if the game has good DLCs, a lot of DLCs, like, okay, more revenue streams. It's a forward-thinking thing, and I think that's what really propelled Rocket League to be like how big it is now.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it wasn't on PS Plus, a lot of people wouldn't have seen it. A lot of people wouldn't have tried it for free.
Yep.
And they wouldn't have been transferred over to PC. It wouldn't have gotten major popularity. It would have, and it would have been another Laser League, another game that just people forgot about like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like the first time I played Rocket League was on my PlayStation Plus, and then now I have it on PC. And it wasn't free on PC. Someone gifted it to me, but that meant someone spent money to have me play it with them on PC. Mm-hmm. And it's like, would that person have ever found it on PC if it wasn't free on PlayStation Plus? What was it, like 4 years ago at this point almost, I think? 5 years ago?
3.5, so yeah.
3.5, it's been a while, yeah.
Yeah, July 2015, I remember that day like it was...
He's like, I know.
Oh, man. That was a fun day. I'm not going to get into it today because it's a long story, but it was a very magical first few days. But yeah, the storefront with, like I said, sometimes I think a company, and I'm not the best business person in the world. If I was,
yeah, exactly,
my house would be bigger. But spending money at like upfront to make money later is probably your best option, especially if you're playing for the long game. Like if this is gonna be a flash in the pan. Like if the Epic knows, listen, Fortnite's gonna die pretty soon, we need to stay relevant. And I think this is how they're going to try and stay relevant. Because even they know Fortnite's going to die off eventually.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, and like I don't think it's ever going to go completely away, but they're going to go away from making billions of dollars on it. Mm-hmm. So they're saying, we could keep making games, or we could go, I don't remember the last time Valve made a game, and they still make a lot of money. What are they doing over there?
Oh yeah, it's been Half-Life. What was the last game it came out with? Was it?
I don't know. Let's see. I'm gonna Google it right now. Last game Valve made. Valve's last game, Dota 2, was released in 2013.
Okay, that doesn't count. I don't count that. 'Cause that game was an early access. Okay.
Let's see. Probably the last one I can think of right now off the top of my head would have been like Portal 2.
That's what I was thinking. Portal 2. That was like at least 2006 or 7 or 8 or something.
Let's see. Artifact? What is that?
Yeah, Artifact. That's their attempt at making a Hearthstone. I mean a
Oh,
trading card game.
yeah, that's right. So,
Yeah.
but then before that, the last thing that is on this list is Left 4 Dead Survivors. But that was in arcades.
We still have arcades in the US.
Looks like it might have. It looks like it was in Japan.
Okay, I'm about to say we don't have arcades here. We have like maybe one
We have
in every
like
state.
arcades now.
Yeah. All the kids who want to go to the arcade got one off the drink.
Yeah, all the arcade nerds grew up and were like, I can get drunk and play video games? Sold! Yes, sir.
Oh, man. Yeah, but like
Yeah,
said,
so I mean, you got to think about it. Like, they haven't actually made a game for that long. And it's like, I mean, they're obviously still in business. They're obviously making money somewhere. Got to do something. So now Epic is like, well, Fortnite's going to die. Oh, shit. What do we do? Oh, fuck it. Let's sell other people's games. Which I don't think it's a bad thing to have multiple storefronts. I think it's a bad thing to do exclusivity on those storefronts.
I feel like there has to be a reason to have a new storefront. Like, you can't just be like, hey, we have games that they don't have. Like, because then I'm just like, how bad do I want to play the game versus how badly do I put my credit card information on another place, on another
exactly.
site? Because we all know information with how tech is today. There's no point in making a secure password.
Mm-hmm.
You might as well just make a password like apples, just so you remember easier.
Yeah, at least I remember it.
Yeah, because by the time someone fishes for it, it's gonna be like you can use passwords 1256 7 8 9 10.0 exclamation point dash dash 0056. It's gonna get like leaked or cracked at some point. So you might as well just use something easy to remember.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna forget it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have to have it written down in a notebook.
Honestly, the best place to put your passwords behind your computer monitor.
Makes sense.
Because no one's gonna look there.
Yeah, no one else is coming in here but me.
Pretty much.
And I feel like if someone broke into my house, they're probably not going to be like, oh, well, this is clearly a password. I should do something with it. They're going to go, I'm stealing as much as I physically can.
Exactly. If someone's in your house.
Again, they're not in it for the long con. Could have had the bank account, stole the PC. Nailed it.
That's got to be a new meme of 2019. Could I have the bank account stole the PC? Oh my gosh.
Man. Whew.
I love just like talking about like the digital physical landscape and like storefronts. Like I didn't think, because for me, I use Steam just because it's convenient, and usually all the games I want to get are either on Steam or they're all separate launchers. Oh, actually, I remember the days when every single now I was a freemium MMO guy back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be like 10, be like, I want to play a game. They all cost money. I have no money. What's a free game? And
This one's free.
all the freemium MMOs, which had their own launcher in like area or like those Korean like launchers, and you're sitting there like, okay, I have to download this. That's not the game. Oh, that's the launcher for the game. Why do I have to do all that?
Yeah, I was like, I lived in the middle of nowhere, so I had to download all these things. I was like, all right, the game's ready to go. And it was like, okay, you downloaded the launcher. It's like, well, that took an hour. God damn it. Now what do I do? And it's like, well, you have to download the game. And I'm like, okay, how long that's going to be? 25 hours. And I was like,
Well, I'll see you
I don't
in
care
2 days.
anymore. I was like, I'm over it. This isn't worth it. Done.
Oh, man. That is, I cannot express how many times I went through those launchers and I was like, I want to play this game so bad, but it's just so many things you have to load up. Some things didn't even have like an icon.
Inconvenient.
And if we get more launchers, I think that's going to happen again. At least everyone who went through that phase of like freemium Korean MMOs will go through like, all right, let me open this. Let me get to that.
Yep. And then how many of those launchers by default also now want to open as soon as your PC starts? So then, unless you turn all those off, you're opening Steam, you're opening Origin, you're opening Uplay, you're opening the Epic launcher, you're opening Battle.net, you're opening Discord, and then I'm like, now it's been 20 minutes and my computer might be ready to use. Like,
it's a car now.
Yeah,
warm it
exactly. Yeah, I had to let it warm up a little bit. Come on, baby, come on, you can do it. I believe.
Oh man! And then you get a message because they're gonna start intermixing like chats to friends on like the.
I don't want that at all.
Bing, it's like, why are you messaging me on Epic Store and I gotta close a new window? Message me on Steam or Discord. Yeah. That's what Discord's for.
Yeah. Discord only. If you message me anywhere other than Discord, I'm not interested.
I actively ignore my Steam messages.
The only time Steam is convenient is when you're in the middle of a game and you need to like quickly like shift tab, send a message like invite when ready, and then out of it. And I'm like, that's the only time that it's acceptable. But if you're like, hey man, how's your day going? I'm like, shut the fuck up. Don't talk to me on Steam. I don't need that. Like I'm gonna get back to you in an hour and a half when I'm done with this game and I've closed Steam, and then I'm gonna forget about the message. But if it's in my Discord, I'm gonna see it and remember it.
Mm-hmm. I spent so many messages. I've seen so many messages and be like, hey, what's up? I'm in the middle of a game and I'm like, I'm so focused, I'm not gonna delete that. And then next thing I know, like 5 minutes later, I'm starting a new game and I'm like, am I supposed to do something?
I didn't respond to that message. Yeah, like it's just I don't know. And all of them have to have that. All of them have to have their own friend platform. All of them have to have their own messaging service. I'm like, I just don't want that. Like, it's like having like Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, and text messaging on my phone, and for some reason they're all linked together and all get the same message. It's like, it's Wolf! Wolf from The Office is what my computer is about to become.
Wolf?
Okay, so have you ever watched The Office?
I have, but I don't remember Wolf.
Do you remember Wolf from Ryan? He was like, you get a Twitter message, a Facebook message, an email, a fax, a phone call, and like everything for one notification. So it's like he gets that, and like The Office bings like 8 different sounds, a phone rings, and then a fax prints out, and it's like Michael says hi. I'm like, that's what my computer's about to become. Like, with all of these launchers all having their own messaging system, I'm going to be like, all right, well, who sent me a message? Where did, like, it's going to be like the Matrix. I'm going to have, like, 5 different screens in front of me just for these messaging clients. Like, which one was it? Who did it? Who did it? Where's the ding?
And, like, it's totally different than, like, having actual physical different storefronts, too. Because you don't get messages. I mean, you get emails and, you know, like coupons and shit. But you don't get messages from your friends like, hey, coming from GameStop, or then like Toys R Us sending you a friend request.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I'm at GameStop, I'm going to Walmart now. I'm like, okay, well, cool.
Yeah, you just get your physical copy and you're out and you're gone.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh. You know, I wonder how long it'll take for. Now, do you think Epic's going to be a stayer, or are they going to fold over? You think? With the game store, not Fortnite or anything, just like the game store itself.
I don't know. I feel like if anyone's got a chance, it's going to be Epic or Discord. I think those are your two that have the chance to fight against Steam. I think Epic's got it because so many people have it installed because of Fortnite. You know, and there's a lot of people who this is the first time they're playing PC games to play Fortnite. So that's they may not even have Steam installed.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I mean, a majority of them do, I'm sure, but not all of them probably do. So there's probably those few people who are like, oh, I can just keep buying my games through this one thing. Great, I'm just going to do that. Discord, I think, is a lot more widely used than the Epic launcher. Because, do you play a game on the internet? You probably have Discord installed because that's how you talk to your friends. So when you load up Discord, now it's popping you straight to that front page where it's like, hey, you have this free game with Nitro. Oh, this game's coming out next week, man. Don't forget about it. So I think that has a higher chance than the Epic Store, the way that I'm looking at it. Just because it's going to be in front of more people.
I believe Discord has the best chance, I think, personally.
Yeah. And I think Epic has been doing a good job of trying to get it in front of more people with offering free games. They offered Subnautica for free. And there's another one coming this month that's free. I don't remember off the top of my head right now. But, there's news articles going out. It's like, hey, you want to play Subnautica? You haven't bought it? You want it for free? Download the Epic's launcher. You get it for free. And then you're downloading that. Then you see Metro Exodus exclusive to the Epic launcher. And then somebody goes, oh, okay, well, I can buy that here. So they're trying. The way that they're doing that, I think, makes a lot of sense. And it's a really good idea. But how long are you going to be able to give me free games to continue to bring me back to your platform?
Well, PlayStation and Xbox and Switch, but they suck ass at it. Are doing that right now too with their monthly services. Well, PS Plus has been around forever, and I love PS Plus when I first got it. As time went on, I started realizing they're giving out a lot more. How can I say? I'll say valueless titles. I'll say that. Not necessarily bad games, but games that don't hold any value.
Yeah.
It's rare they have games that have value. I think the best, they're all games that story games that have went over the hype period, that aren't going to make nearly any sales going forward. Or again, too, with physical copies, people get the used copies, people trade them in after they're done with them.
Right.
So there's nothing of, which I understand, you're not going to give anyone a game of value. You're not going to give me Resident Evil 2 on PlayStation Plus this month because it came out last month. I get that. Yeah.
But, I think they give multiplayer games, probably the biggest one I can think of off the top of my head right now was, Friday the 13th. That game sees a big influx in free players for a month or so, but then it drops back off again, and it's like, okay, well, cool, I have this free game that nobody plays anymore.
And you can't play it. Because no one's
what do I do with it? Yeah, this is worthless. It's like, okay, cool, great. You gave me Call of Duty Ghosts for free. Thanks. Nobody's playing this. Like I said, you might see a little influx for a week or maybe a month because it was free, but after that, okay, cool, thanks.
Yeah, a lot of the PS Plus games I look at, and they're just, like I said, games with very little value. They gave out Laser League, and that was the best thing that could have happened to Laser League, because that game had, and I'm not shitting you, 52 active players when I checked it.
Yep.
And I love that game. I love it. I wanted it to be, I knew it was going to be a big game. You could tell it wasn't set up to be a big game.
Right.
I wanted to be a more popular, maybe a small, 500 concurrents online, at least minimum all the time. No, that game was dead.
Yeah.
And PS Plus came through, and it revived the game for a little bit. But there's no crossplay because, they don't do that with Sony. They don't like that crossplay. They don't.
Nope.
No,
sir.
I honestly think crossplay is the number one thing that will push indie multiplayer games to the forefront.
I think so too, because so many people are going to buy those, on PC, on when Humble Bundle puts them in a big bundle, or when Steam gives them on a winter sale, and then there's the Joe Schmo or whoever, they're playing on the PS4, and they're like, I got 4 friends to play with, and then suddenly, big influx from Steam comes in, they're like, now there's 400 people to play with. Because, I bought it for $1.50, where if I went and bought it on PlayStation, it'd probably still cost me $20-$30. So it's like, all right, well, let's do this. I think that'll help a lot. But I think, we were saying, how many free games can you give me? And you mentioned, PlayStation Plus and games with gold. Those are, $60 a year, though. I'm not paying Epic $60 a year to keep getting free games. That's a whole nother service that I have to start paying for.
Yeah, because if you have consoles, you have to play online. You have to pay that fee.
Exactly.
Which I hate. I hate that. Especially
I hate it.
I'm going to mini tirade right here, okay? If I'm paying
Right,
$60,
I'm ready.
I'm paying $60 for online. Why the fuck do my games of FIFA, my games of Shinobi Strikers, and any other games that are peer to peer not have servers? I don't care. Y'all need to fix that. Sony needs to fix that. Nintendo needs to fix that. I just want my games to run on good internet on my end. Like Rocket League's fine. Their servers are weird, but at least they have servers. I'll take that. But I'm playing a fighting game, and the minute I press X and like I don't see a jump or a crouch or a block, depending on what you're playing, and nothing happens because lag, and then I see the screen freeze. Then I go to block if someone's going to hit me, but I can't because the delays that I just want to just. I'm upset.
I'm gonna lose it. Yeah, and like it happens in like shooting games too, really bad. Like somebody has a slightly better connection there for some reason, or it was real bad back in like Call of Duty. That guy got host, he's gonna win, and it's like I paid $60 too. That's not my fault. Like, come on, man. And like I had a huge discussion about that with a friend of mine actually when Fallout 76 was coming out. We were like, "Oh, this game might still be good." We still had hope for it. We were going to buy it. And I was like, "Okay, well, where do you want to play the game at?" I was like, "I'll buy it anywhere if I can play with my friends. Where are you going to play it?" And she said, "I'm going to buy it on PC because I will not pay to play online." And I was like, "All right, good enough."
Yeah.
So, and they're not going to be able to pull that one. They would have to offer me more than that. Like, I have Discord Nitro, but that's because I send a lot of files through Discord. And being able to go from an 8 megabyte file to a 50 megabyte file is a lot bigger jump than you think it is.
Yeah, you can send actual, like...
You can send a real file that someone wants to look at. Like...
Not just a text file, like a very
plain
text.
Yeah, so that's why I got Nitro in general, was that and to put what name I wanted, because then I could put my name on business cards. And then they were like, "Oh, hey, by the way, we're going to give you a bunch of free games with Nitro." And I was like, "Oh, cool, an extra perk." And it's like, I don't have to pay to play those games online on top of the subscription I'm already paying for Nitro. So it's, it's like if you have Xbox Game Pass, you're paying $10 for Game Pass a month. And then, however much you're paying for your Xbox Live a month, or your $60 a year. And I'm like, this just keeps adding up more and more and more. And it's like digital streaming services for movies and TV shows. Like Disney wants to do their own. Everybody wants to do their own streaming service. I'm like, well, why don't I just get a damn cable package at this point? Like, I'm paying more than I was for the joke of a cable package that I had. When all I want is one place to watch your shows. Like, I just want to click a button and I want it to be there.
Yeah, I think a monopoly in this case of streaming services. People are going to hate me for saying this. I'm probably not. I think it would be easier for the consumer. But we'd see a lot of... Because I don't care who you are, what industry you're in. You always want to, punch up. You always want to punch higher. Like Epic going for Steam. Like, they want to... That's their market. They're trying to brute force that market.
Yeah.
So, I don't think it will happen, but if we just had one place where everything... Because right now the way it's going, especially with Netflix and Hulu and all that, I noticed that Hulu, for me personally, has more shows that I would want to watch.
I've used Hulu so much more than Netflix in the last, probably 5-6 months.
Yeah, Netflix has a very... In my opinion, and I don't watch a lot of movies, but a lot of lackluster... Yeah, a lot of lackluster content about it. Versus, I'm also a Crunchyroll guy. Like, I watch anime once in a while.
Right.
And, well, I love having my anime. Huh? Oh. Sorry. Anyway, I forgot where I was.
I'm talking about anime.
Oh yeah, Crunchyroll's expensive.
Yeah, it's like what, $15 a month?
No,
Is
no,
that right?
no, it can't be 15. I don't pay 15. I know I don't pay 15. I wouldn't pay 15. I think it's like 12, 10 or 12.
I have no idea.
I have to go check that like maybe later because I think I actually canceled my Crunchyroll.
Oh, it's $6.95 a month.
Oh, $6.95.
I was way
Like I
off.
said, I know it wasn't like that much. I know there's like a premium Crunchyroll though. I don't know what that gives you, but I don't know. All right. So
Yeah, like I don't know. I agree. Like I would rather have everything in one place because it's easy, it's convenient, but especially with a monthly subscription like Netflix or Hulu, what you're going to run into there is Netflix is going to be like, I'm the only one that's doing it. Really? Like there's nobody else here. Okay, well it was $10 a month. Now it's $40 a month. And it's like, okay, well you can go to the other place and do. Oh wait, you can't. Sorry, that sucks, doesn't it? $40, please. So it's like you would almost have to have a company that could never change that without very, very, very good reason. But that's never going to happen because people suck.
yeah, because more money is great because
Yeah,
it means you get more money to pay your employee.
Yeah, like paying the employees is good, but let's be real, we know that ain't gonna happen.
I tried to keep it straight. I could.
Yeah, we're gonna raise our fee by $30 a month. Oh, great! So you're gonna pay your employees more? Yeah, here's 50 cents.
Actually, no. We're gonna give all employees a raise, but before that, we're gonna cut our workforce by half.
Yeah, or we're gonna make their insurance more. But yeah, we have a good reason. Pay me $40 extra a month. But like, I don't think we have that same problem with Steam. I think the consumer doesn't have a problem with that side. I think who would get screwed over by that would be more developers. Because the exact opposite would happen. Steam would say, we're the only people that do it. So we were giving you just for example, let's say we were giving you a 30% cut of the sales and we were taking the rest. Well, we're gonna give you a 10% cut and take the rest. You can go to the other guy. Oh wait, you can't. Sorry.
Yeah.
So
honestly,
our side would be better as consumers, but game developers, that's who's gonna get the short end of that stick.
Yeah, if I was a game dev and like Steam's like, we're giving you 10%, I'm like, I'm gonna release this shit on Twitter. I'm just put the download on Patreon. Shit.
Buy it from my website.
Like, yeah, like at that point, like, if 100 less, again, another just brain thing I've learned recently, you can either make 100 $1 sales or one $100 sale.
Yeah, you're gonna make the same amount of money.
Yeah, same amount of money, and you deal with way less people, but you get like just the same monetary value. Like sometimes you gotta just take the less people for the higher cut. It's
yeah.
But yeah, no, it's 30%. Yeah, they do take 30%, right? Or they keep 30%.
I'm not sure off the top of my head. That was just a random number.
Yeah, I think that's like what it is. Maybe like the default for some games.
Yeah, and I'm sure bigger games can be like, well, we don't want to do that much. Like we're gonna make a little bit more of an effort here to kind of negotiate back and forth. But like, Tim's first game indie dev studio, they're gonna be like, sure, take whatever you want, just sell my game, give me money, let me make what I want and be happy.
Mm-hmm. And then it's like, oh, I sold 500 copies and I made 20 grand.
Yeah.
Oh wait, my math is off. That'd be great. But yeah, so 500 copies make $2,000. Like, oh, okay.
This sucks.
Yeah. Oh my
Yep.
gosh. Well, MP, I gotta say thank you for being a guest for today.
Yeah, man. Thanks so much for having me on. It was fun.
Anytime. I love doing these because it's more of like a free form, more just like go with the flow, one with the low.
Yeah.
Miss
Yeah,
Flow,
it's just kind
flow.
of like a discussion. Wherever it goes, it goes.
By the way, while I got you here, playthrough.
Yes.
Excited?
Yes, I'm so excited. I'm so hyped.
Good. Should be there, barring any like life disasters.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it should be a fun time.
Yeah. I think it'll be a good time. I'm excited to actually come and like meet everybody face to face and get to like. No.
Ooh.
I don't think I've met anybody.
Ooh.
I'm gonna meet everybody all at the same time.
Well, just so you know, Veli's tall.
I believe it.
Green's tall. Zone's tall. I'm tall. Not really. I'm not that tall. But yeah, no, it should be fun. And everyone's wondering what we're talking about. We will be going to Playthrough Gaming Convention in North Carolina, which is on March 30th to 31st. So if you guys are going to be in North Carolina, you want to go to a convention and meet me and MPI there and the rest of the True Fam, please come on by. We'll be running the actual broadcast of the event as well. So you can check it out on True Gaming's channel at twitch.tv/True Gaming. And it should be fun. You should see me on there quite a bit. I'm a bit of an attention whore. So
No.
Not
Sadomi.
Everyone's just like, oh, obviously he is. It's like, wow, thanks. God.
Oh, gee, damn.
Like I'm conceited, but Jesus, don't gotta tell me to my face.
Yeah, exactly. You could at least pretend.
Like you can at least write it in a very like vague Twitter post. God.
What was that called? Like subtweet me or some shit? Jeez.
Oh my God. Or like take a picture of like a turd and just tag me and don't say anything else.
Yep, that's it.
Like, why are you tagging me? Cause I'm the shit? Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, MPI. Where can people find you if they want to talk to you some more, my friend?
Yeah, so you can find me on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram are all just MrPureInstinct. If you're a Facebook user, it's MrPureInstinct TV because MrPureInstinct was apparently taken. I have no idea how. But if that's your preferred method of contact, you can go there. But mostly I use Twitter for everything, and then Instagram, and then Facebook is kind of the third lonely end there. So pretty much everywhere it's MrPureInstinct, and you should see the MPI logo, except for Twitter, where I am behind the camera in a photo.
Gotcha. All right, everybody. Thank you again for joining us on the Perspective Podcast. MPI, thank you one more time. And I'll see everybody later. Bye-bye. Adios.